If you call this Senate Robert term senators, probably you might exempt the lives of Senator Seriake Dickson, former governor of Bayelsa State, presently representing Bayelsa North, out of it. This state of emergency being issued by our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in Rivers State. That man really proving that is not one of those you can call rubber stamp, even if the majority have his way. But he stood his ground in making sure that transparency and accountability would be the order of the day at the Senate. Hear him out as he exchanges words or argument with our Senate President, Godswill Akpabio.
Senator Seriake Dickson.
Yes.
I watch you on television.
Mr. President, I have
And
a
you
point of
pointed
order
out,
for which you have recognized me.
Listen to me now.
Yes.
Let's not argue. If we argue, it won't be good for any of us. We are all distinguished people. You are a former governor, I'm a former governor. Let us, please, off the mic, sit down. Please be seated. I watch you on television, and you said no matter what the Senate does, the Senate will never go with you. The Senate will not go with you. I said you said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television. I don't know, but I'm saying that if you have already made up your mind to go and talk on television when the Senate has not even considered any issue, I want to let you know.
To me, please.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm only saying please allow me to preside the items on our order paper to take the
Point of order, Mr. President.
to take the
Mr. President, there's a point of order. We need to order ourselves appropriately.
distinguished colleagues.
Yes.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded, and it behoves on the presiding officer to put the question. And after that, anybody who wants to move a point of order can do so. But in the meantime, can I put the question? Those in support that we read our other papers, say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Point of order, Mr. President. It doesn't stop your. Doesn't stop the motion.
Distinguished Senator Seriake Dickson.
Yes.
I watch you on television.
Mr. President, I have
And
a
you
point of
pointed
order
out,
for which you have recognized me.
Listen to me now.
Yes.
Let's not argue. If we argue, it won't be good for any of us. We are all distinguished people. You are a former governor, I'm a former governor. Let us, please, off the mic, sit down. Please be seated. I watch you on television, and you said no matter what the Senate does, the Senate will never go with you. The Senate will not go with you. I said you said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television. I don't know, but I'm saying that if you have already made up your mind to go and talk on television when the Senate has not even considered any issue, I want to let you know.
To me, please.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm only saying please allow me to preside. Allow me to preside.
Make my point for which.
Stand up and make a point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, we must have mutual respect for all of our colleagues, okay? And I do have regard for you, particularly as our presiding officer.
I appreciate
And I think that should be reciprocal. Now, the point of order, Mr. President, Henry Seriake Dickson, Bayelsa West. The point of order I rose to address is to draw the attention of the presiding officer and our colleagues to the specific provisions of our rules. Each one of us is guided by two documents: the Constitution of the Federal Republic, upon which we were sworn, and the rules that govern our proceedings. The proclamation has been read to us, and I wanted to draw your attention, Mr. President, respectfully, and the attention of all our colleagues, to the specific provisions of our rules. Order 135. The framers of this are very exhaustive. Once you say state of emergency declaration, there is a procedure.
Can you read 135?
Let me read it. Say, look, 133. When the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by instrument published in the Gazette of the Government of the Federation, issues a proclamation of a state of emergency in the Federation or of any part thereof, he shall immediately after the publication, A, B, C, D. Now, since you have read it, now let me go to 135. The president shall, in a closed session, brief the Senate on the circumstances of the proclamation of a state of emergency.
Your point of order is upheld.
Thank you. So let's go to the closed session.
Please, he was about to move the motion for a closed session.
Thank you, sir.
In line with our rules. The rule is embedded in the heart of the Senate leader. He was about to move that motion for us to go to closed session.
Yes.
When you raise it, but I'm happy that you are reading your rules. So your point of order is happily upheld. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished Senator Seriake Dickson had allowed me, to, follow. And in the first instance, I came under Order 1B of our rules, which gives us power to regulate our procedure. And so the first task was for me to let our colleagues know that we're going to be changing the items as arranged on the other paper.
On the other paper?
Yes, sir. So the next thing, of course, was for me
Senator,
to also
did you hear that? He said that he came under Order 1B.
Yes.
To request the Senate to grant him approval to reorder the items on the other paper. And then thereafter, he was about to proceed to the next stage,
yes,
which was to move a motion for us to go into a closed session.
Pursuant to Order 135 of our rules.
Too much. You can never. It's better to err on the part of surplusage. That's why I'm happy that you also read your rules.
Again, let me say I'm happy that most distinguished Senator Seriake Dickson is very familiar, with the rules. And, like every one of us, that is the only way we can have, peace, and we can proceed diligently as a Senate. So, having said that, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me say that I move, pursuant to Order 135 of our rules, that the Senate now goes into a closed session as, prelude to the motion that I have on the other paper. Thank you, sir.
Yes, the distinguished President of the Senate. Gazette of State of Emergency Proclamation 2025. Rivers State. In compliance with the provisions of Section 305, subsection 2, in compliance with the provisions of Section 305, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, I hereby forward for the consideration of the Senate copies of the official gazettes of the State of Emergency Proclamation 2025. The main features of the proclamation are as follows: a declaration of a state of emergency in one state of the Federation, namely Rivers State, the suspension from office of the governor, his deputy, and all members of the State House of Assembly, and appointment of Vice Admiral Iboreche Iba as retired as administrator to administer the state subject to any instructions or regulations as may from time to time be issued by me. While I look forward to the expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This letter is committed to the Committee of the entire Senate for immediate consideration. Leader of the Senate.
I rise first to move that pursuant to Order 1B of our rules, Mr. President, that we reorder the agenda on the order paper to enable us take for the first order of the day, which is my motion pursuant to the proclamation of state of emergency in Rivers State, in respect of which Mr. President just read the correspondence from Mr. President stating the proclamation. I so move, Mr. President.
The Minority Leader.
The motion moved by the Leader of the Senate that the Senate reorders its order paper for today to take the first order of the day. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in support that we go into closed session to enable us comply with our rules, circulating the Gazette, and at the same time discussing matters of urgent national importance, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Anyway, I stand to be corrected. But if you ask me, if not about politics, people like this should be considered as Senate president. We need some persons who can put the president in check. Not some kind of, this is all about our party, forgetting that the overall interest, why some of you are there, is for the purpose and benefit of Nigeria. Anyway, whatever you think about the entire process, drop your comment in the comment section and follow the page. Thank you as you do so.